7 o'clock, we got Ball State, which went 6-7 last year, traveling to Tennessee, which went 7-6 last year. Tennessee are at 32.5 points on the SEC network. Obviously, 7-6 doesn't sound great. I'm going to get into why it is really good and huge improvement for Tennessee in a little bit. We're going to talk about Ball State for a hot second, though. Ball State, John Paddock, their quarterback, went 18-26 last year, only threw for 132 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions, and had a 69.2% completion percentage. Now, this is a new quarterback for Ball State. I mean, obviously he played a little bit, but not enough to really consider him super confident in that system, at least have super confidence in him to try and pull off a huge upset here. Carson Steele, their running back, had 192 carries for 891 yards last year and had 6 touchdowns rushing. And Ja'Shawn Jackson had 69 catches for 826 yards and 5 touchdowns. But let's talk about Tennessee for a little bit. Josh Heupel. I keep messing that up. Jeremy Pruitt is no longer the head coach of Tennessee. Get it through your head. But Josh Heupel actually had this team improving. And it is actually really exciting to see. As a Florida fan, I don't want Tennessee to succeed. But as a football fan, I think it's really cool the turnaround we've seen from a program like Tennessee. Tennessee was bad. I don't know how else to phrase it. It was not a good football team. You go back a couple years. But it's exciting now, and it's because, number one, Heupel's great coaching, but number two, the quarterback. And I feel like I have to mention it. Hendon Hooker.
When did I become such a gooey romantic?
Has gone 206, 312 last year. Threw for 2,945 yards, 31 touchdowns with 3 interceptions, a 68.2% completion percentage. And I was loving on Hendon Hooker before he even went to Tennessee, honestly. I watched him at Virginia Tech. He was a great quarterback. And Virginia Tech, I don't know how you let him go. I honestly don't. Braxton Burmeister was not good enough, in my opinion, to consider benching Hendon Hooker.
I hardly know her.
It made no sense to me. And obviously Hendon Hooker goes to Tennessee. And he's thriving there. He didn't start the year, weirdly enough. He was not the starter for Tennessee when the season began. But he should have been, and honestly, he proved himself. And if we're talking about quarterbacks in the SEC that are really good, obviously you're going to talk about Bryce Young first. But Will Levis and Hendon Hooker, in my opinion, are very similar skill levels, and I think they're both great QBs. Both have a chance of making it in the future into the NFL. So I think this is... it's a possibility of being a really, really one-sided game. Obviously, Tennessee could blow it because it's Tennessee. I forgot to mention the rest of their talent. Running back, you're going to have Jabari Small starting. He had 140 carries for 792 yards last year and 9 touchdowns. And Cedric Tillman's are going to be the leading receiver with 64 catches for 1,081 yards and 12 touchdowns. These two teams have never played before, which is pretty interesting. But in my opinion, this should be a Tennessee blowout. I don't like the Volunteers. I hope they fail next year. But I'm torn because I love Heupel and I love Hendon Hooker. I both think they're phenomenal player/coach combination. But, yeah, this should be an easy blowout Tennessee win. And Tennessee could give Georgia a little bit of fight this year, in my opinion. Tennessee's a good football team. I'm kind of excited to see what they do.